So if you can see this image right here, this is what they face in London now. It's like this. So it says UK needs Islam, all this stuff. And this is not, I mean, this is just normal stuff that you will see over there. I'm assuming these are women, and a lot of the locals don't like it. They're upset about it, and they don't understand why people won't conform to their culture. And these people are saying, that we don't have to conform to your culture. And then the locals are coming back and saying, well, this just happened. These 3 girls died, and there were a bunch of other ones stabbed. And then, the news comes back and says, well, they weren't, the guy that killed these 3 kids wasn't really Muslim, so it doesn't matter. It's disinformation, and you're responsible for the riots. And they're just ignoring like the 1,400 other attacks and trying to make anybody who just wants to have their neighborhoods to be safe as if they're bad and evil people, and then suppressing any information or outcry from the other side. And since Twitter has now afforded the other opportunity aside to speak, it's sort of fragmented, the empire they had with Facebook, Google being all sort of suppressing information and only putting up stuff that, for low information voters believe that it's true. Like fact checks, we all know that most fact checks are partisan political, and you can't believe any of them. But there are still people that actually believe them. And in the public schools in California, they're actually teaching the kids that you have to believe them, and that the only valid sources of news are the far left ones that we all know are basically propaganda. So that's what's going on in California. A law was just passed for that. So, but in order for this stuff to work, it has to be enforced. And so that's where we're going to get into a little bit about. So you see these girls here, people are upset about it. And then so here's the other problem that they're having is, so when people are getting stabbed, the government won't say if it's an immigrant. They won't, they're like suppressing all the evidence. So the government will suppress whether or not it was an immigrant. They don't want to tell you unless it's like a white local. And then immediately they put it all over the news. It was a white racist. People are getting fed up with it, to be quite honest with you. They don't like it because they know that it's fabricated, and it's overreach, and it's not fair and balanced. So I think most critical thinkers don't like it. And so my buddy from Ireland told me the other night that what he thinks they're doing is they're coming after our children, like, because they know we're not going to change. So he's saying they're coming after our kids. That's why they're trying to, get these public school kids all just completely destroyed by the time they're kindergartners. And give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree. I think he might be right. Now let me see here. Wanda says they won't let me comment on a lot of channels. Well, I don't know. I know in the UK, you can't say a whole lot if it's critical of your government or these people that are criminals that the government sort of is ushered into their country. And now they're generational, right? Generational criminals. And that's why people are upset about the immigration policies, because it's like you bring someone in, you put them on welfare. Do you think that their offspring are going to also not be on welfare when you just offer it to them forever in exchange for a vote? And the working men are like, that's crazy, that we're paying for this. It's ridiculous. And so Denmark is shutting it down. Like I said, the Eastern European, like the Russian countries, the old Soviet bloc countries, are trying to force to flood immigrants into Poland to destabilize their country. I mean, what better way could you destabilize a country than flood them with military age males who are hostile to the local population? I mean, think about that. That's crazy, right? So that's what a lot of people are complaining about. So, and then also the other issue that they have is there's guys like this openly in the UK that are openly hostile to the UK, and they want to force this thing called Sharia law into their government. So they won't show you this on CNN or anywhere else. So go ahead and watch this. I'm just trying to show you both sides, because so far all you've seen is the left wing side, like the CNN, PMS, NBC. But there hasn't been anybody to show you like a neutral side, like, okay, this is what the locals are complaining about. Not all of them, but a lot of them, the ones who have lost kids or had their kids attacked especially, are really upset. And to be honest, they don't like being called like bigoted, because they're upset about guys like this in their neighborhood saying things like this.
Very simple. No integration, no multiculturalism, no diversity, no tolerance. I got my own deen, you got your own deen. You got your democracy, we got our own sharia. You got your own free mixing, we got our own nikah. Own cheating within the marketplace, your own credit cards. We got our own economic system. We got our own foreign policy. We got our own deen.
The government by people. The government by people. That the legislators are human beings, not the creator of human beings. That is democracy. So if you mean by democracy that you come up with your own law and then you punish people according to this own law, if you call this democracy, then Islam outright rejects that. Because this kind of democracy entails injustice to human beings. You don't know what is suitable for them. Allah knows. Allah knows. So if you go on to contradict and oppose the revelation of Allah, then we say no democracy.
Very simple.
All right, so we kind of saw, that's this side here. So he represents this side. So you'll see, like, these are the ladies that are involved in his movement, and he doesn't want to integrate. And this is what you'll see. They shut down all the streets and pray, and the locals are really upset. They're like, why can't you pray in your own churches? Why do you got to block all of our streets? We never had these problems before. They're upset about it. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of get into that. So now we're going to get into some similar kinds of things, like, why is it okay to do body searches? All right. What's that all about? What's the whole body search thing about? I don't get it. Why are they allowed to, why are they allowed to, the police just pull people out? Anybody know, like, for their state? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Now, I know it might be legal in some instances, like, if you're on probation or parole, but I'm not 100% sure. So definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about it. And let me see here. Race Gas, how you doing, buddy? Good seeing you, man. So let me just I want to just look through what's going on today. All right, so guys, just a little update. I haven't seen Chili De Castro in a couple of days. What's going on with him? Give me an update if you know what's going on with him. So when I talk about cavity searches, the other day I did a little bit of a show about cavity searches, and we saw this guy get, like, literally these officers were pulling, like, bags, I guess, out of his rear end on the side of the road, and just how demeaning that was. And they did it right in front of his woman where they had her watching, and it was just, like, really degrading. And, there's all kinds of cavity searches. And so, but when I'm talking about cavity searches, I'm not talking about this kind.
Mira, pisando está, mira. No, yo lo voy a mandar. No te vaya a ver porque vaya. Para el carro, mira, para atrás la lleva, mira, ve. Ey, no, mira, por... Ey, yo. Quítate, man, ¿verdad?
Quítate.
Ey, yo.
Ay, pero por lo menos disimulando que fuera llave.
Es un animal, policía pelón.
So what do you guys think about that? So not that kind of cavity search, all right? So looks like that was a voluntary cavity search there. So anyways, if you guys know about the different laws related to when an officer can do a cavity search on someone, let me know. But the one we saw earlier, there was I guess maybe it was a trans dude or something. He was doing a body search. I'm not sure if he was doing a full cavity search of the suspect, but the suspect was saying, I want a gender neutral. And you see, gosh, all this new woke stuff, how it's just messing with the cops too. Like that. It's just so crazy. Nobody knows what's going on anymore. So that was just a funny one. And then this was an example of another kind of a weird one. But, we just see all kinds of weird stuff going on. And you see that the police will hold themselves to different standards, and law enforcement does that. And you see that they're just sort of mimicking and imitating the political class, right? So, like, Now there's another one. I mean, I just found all these really cool articles on Twitter. I want to find something good for you. Okay, so here we go. By the way, how's your evening going, guys? If you're just joining me, I am Mike Eline. I am a California and Texas personal injury attorney, but I'm also a legal historian, and I'm a natural law guy. So I believe in the Bill of Rights and natural law, and John Locke, and I'm a legal historian. So I really enjoy coming on here with you guys and showing you the underpinnings of what's really going on in society. I mean, most people don't understand that, like, all of the news that we have in this country pretty much, and until Ellen took over Twitter, was almost exclusively controlled by the same people or the same group of people or corporations. And so you're only getting just a very laundered version and controlled opposition at best from news channels like maybe Fox, right? But the rest has definitely just supported just this one-way street look, and anybody else who disagrees is a horrible person, and that's been it. And so now the flood doors, the gates have been opened a little bit.